Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners regular meeting, January 12th, 2012, 7 o'clock. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jackie, would you call the roll, please? Here.
Vice President Young.
Here.
Commissioner Egan.
Here.
Commissioner Heidi.
Here.
Commissioner Janner.
Here.
Commissioner Ori, absent. Commissioner Todd.
Here.
Jackie, if I'm correct, we don't have any awards or recognition this evening?
No.
Okay. Is anyone signed up from the public to speak on any matter?
No.
Okay, we'll move on to updates and reports. We'll start off with the Riverwalk Commission update. Commissioner Heidi.
Thank you, President Riley. The Riverwalk Commission met on January 11th. The ongoing projects of note include the North Central College Gateway, which is a lateral extension of the Riverwalk. The Park Board recently voted to approve a $5,000 in-kind donation to this project, which will consist largely of some brick paver work and a Shepherd's Crook light. The 2012 CIP was discussed, and the majority of the plan deals with assessing the bulkhead and retaining walls west of Eagle Street. Many of these are quite old and are at the end of their useful lives. The Commission also discussed recent proposals to add colored lights to several important Riverwalk structures, and the consensus among Commission members is to eschew such proposals to avoid the appearance of commercialism. Thank you.
Thank you. Next are the foundation reports. I'll do these. First is the Parks Foundation update report. The next meeting of the Parks Foundation Board has not yet been scheduled. Next is the Millennium Carillon Foundation report. The Carillon Foundation met January 5th, 2012. During that meeting, it was noted that the Carillon bank account has been moved to Naperville Bank to take advantage of lower account charges. John Colucci confirmed that all directors whose terms were about to expire are willing to continue on. Next, the Riverwalk intergovernmental agreement was signed by the Millennium Carillon Foundation and the Naperville Park District after the meeting. A reserve study of the Carillon will be held during 2012 per the agreement. Next item, the City Council will hold the annual capital improvement projects budget workshop on January 23rd, 2012. $150,000 for the replacement or repair of the Moser Tower elevator will be proposed for the fiscal year 2015-2016. The computer clock mechanism, the hour announcement, strike, and autoplay was not working. John Colucci worked with the company to obtain the parts to make the needed repair, and it should be noted that these repairs were completed for the cost of approximately 34 cents. The New Year's Eve events were well attended, with approximately 600 people at the 6 p.m. event and 300 to 400 at the midnight event. Carillon duets were played by Sue Bergeron and Tim Sleep prior to the midnight event, and also there have been a number of weddings and engagements that are taking place now at the tower. It was also reported during this meeting that the tour numbers of 2,800 people for the year 2011 was down from 3,200 in 2010. A marketing committee was reestablished with a primary mission of increasing attendance and participation in Carillon events. Their first meeting was scheduled for January 10th. The next meeting of the Carillon Foundation is scheduled for 7:30 a.m. April 5th at the Rubin Community Center. Next is the Riverwalk Foundation update report. The next meeting of the Riverwalk Foundation will be March 1st, 2012. Next we have the Finance Committee update. Commissioner Todd.
Okay, one of the things that we addressed at the Finance Committee meeting was that the district was approached by representatives from one of the telecommunications companies to renegotiate one of the current existing cell tower agreements, lease agreements that we have at Knock Park. So the committee is presently reviewing our existing agreements and may renegotiate, may proceed with a new lease agreement if favorable lease terms can be reached. Also, in conjunction with the district's strategic plan, in particular goal number 3. The committee was provided a draft of the district's non-tax revenue plan. The plan defines the district's non-tax revenue sources along with highlights of the existing non-tax revenue policies and procedures. Also included were historical trends, objectives, conclusions, and recommendations. The committee will be reviewing the draft plan and provide feedback. We'll be talking about it at our next Finance Committee meeting, and then we hope to bring it to the entire board at one of the future workshops. Our next Finance Committee meeting will be held Wednesday, January 18th at 10:30 at the admin building. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Legislative Committee update. Commissioner Heidi.
Thank you, President Riley. On January 10th, the Legislative Committee had the pleasure of conducting its monthly meeting in collaboration with Senator A.J. Wilhelmi. Our goal was to set House Bill 3129 or Senate Bill 2286 back on track to becoming law. These two bills were recently derailed due to a parliamentary error, and this legislation remains our top priority. Please recall that this legislation centers on the access to the adjudicated criminal records of minor employees. School districts in Illinois have long benefited from this access, and we at the Park District feel that it's critically important to ensure the safety of the children of Naperville who participate in Park District programs that are staffed by minors. We also discussed minimum wage legislation, ADA compliance, and changes to the FOIA rules. We will continue to meet with local legislators on their home turf so that we can more effectively advocate for the citizens of Naperville. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Heidi. Next, we have the Parks and Recreation Committee update. Vice President Young.
In previous Parks and Rec Committee meetings, we agreed that an athletic field cost recovery plan that was hourly based on the mode of the field, the size and purpose and residency of the group renting the field seemed workable. Staff presented what that plan might look like and how it would impact various athletic organizations that rent fields from the Park District. The next step is to begin discussions with the athletic organizations so that we can gather their input and they can begin to plan for the change. The implementation of a revised athletic field cost recovery plan is not expected until 2013. The committee discussed whether the Park District should continue to provide a discus and shot put area for the Naperville Central High School. The committee agreed that they would like to continue to do so. The areas provided have not proven to be an inconvenience to other park users. Also, staff will look to relocate the shot put area closer to the discus area to improve the logistics of meets and practices. Staff will begin to review a lease agreement with the District 203 concerning the playground area and the basketball court at what was once the Huntington Estates Park, but is now the Ann Rice Center on Naperville Boulevard. If you recall, the Park District leased this land prior to the construction of the Ann Rice Center. The committee agreed that it is in favor of negotiating an agreement with Lyle, Wheaton, and Woodridge Park Districts to allow season pass holders of their Park District aquatic facilities to visit Centennial Beach, and Centennial Beach season pass holders to use Lyle, Wheaton, and Woodridge aquatic facilities when the season pass holder's home pool is out of commission due to emergency conditions such as a loss of power. A request is made for an additional water spigot at the garden plots, and staff asked the committee whether it was in favor of engaging an engineer to specify a new location or new locations for one or more spigots and the necessary improvements to account for the change in water pressure that would occur if additional water spigots were added. Staff and the committee reviewed the current distribution of spigots and the radius, and the committee agreed that engaging an engineer at this time was not appropriate. The committee discussed a new program request for treetop obstacle course. Ideally, this sort of program would be located on 6 to 10 acres of land with an abundance of mature trees. The committee asked staff to determine whether the Park District had property that could support this activity, and if it does, we would look to include it on the attitude and interest survey that we will be conducting this year. And that is it.
Thank you. Next, we have the Strategic Plan Committee update. Commissioner Janner.
Thank you, President Riley. The Strategic Planning Committee met on Friday, December 16th and discussed the following main topics. 1, golf operations. Golf operations will be a major focus and priority for 2012, and the board and staff will continue to work and revise the golf business plan as needed and make some important decisions about whether or not golf should continue to operate under an enterprise fund or not. 2, intergovernmental agreements. The board and staff also plans to study and revisit intergovernmental agreements in 2012, especially with School District 204, in hopes of building an even stronger ongoing relationship with District 204, as relationships between the Park District and both School Districts 203 and 204 are critical. 3, indoor space. 4, national and state accreditation and recognition, with the focus on continuing to keep residents apprised of how they can personally benefit from such recognition. 5, upcoming attitude and interest survey, and the willingness of the Strategic Planning Committee to assist with the formulation of survey questions and to weigh in on priorities. Finally, as an immediate follow-up to the meeting, the Strategic Planning Committee drafted a 2012 goals document, which President Riley has circulated to the other commissioners for their feedback, and I have hard copies of that document here for the other commissioners tonight. And 2012 goals will be a topic of discussion at our upcoming January 19th board workshop. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Golf Committee update. Commissioner Egan.
Thank you, President Riley. We did not meet, and golf today has been canceled on account of snow. But our esteemed executive director will be sharing some exciting news with us around rates. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is my monthly update. On January 27th, the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce will seat their new board of directors for the coming year, and we're very proud that Executive Director Ray McGurry will be assuming a position on that board. Ray has been active with the Chamber since joining the Park District, including serving as an instructor for their Leadership Institute. It's important that the leadership of the Naperville Park District maintain visibility in the community to encourage interaction with residents. The Chamber is an important community partner for us, and Ray's service in this capacity will only enhance that relationship. On January 31st, the Chamber of Commerce and the Naperville Development Partnership, where Ray also serves on the board, will host our annual intergovernmental dinner. At this event, elected officials and leadership staff from the city, the Park District, the library, and school districts 204 and 203 get together to network, provide an update on their activities, and to explore ways to work together. In Naperville, this dinner is not just a one-time event, it's part of an ongoing process as these entities have frequent, ongoing communication for the benefits of all of our residents. I will be delivering our second annual State of the Park District presentation a few times this year. First, it will be presented in summary form at the aforementioned intergovernmental dinner. Then I will present it to all the Park District staff on February 3rd, and the presentation for the general public will be on February 11th at the Alfred Rubin Community Center. Coffee and a light breakfast will be available at 8 a.m., and the presentation will start at 8:30. We encourage residents to join us to get an update on what we did in 2011, what we plan for 2012, and importantly, how we're spending your tax dollars. This session is designed to be interactive, so you have ample opportunity to ask questions of your elected officials and Park District staff. Next, we have our update from our Executive Director, Mr. McGurry.
Thank you, President Riley. Just a few things here. Our preschool information night will be on Wednesday, January 18th from 6:30 till 7:30 at the barn. You can learn about our Sunny Days preschool and award-winning Toadstools and Pollywogs preschool. Try saying that about 2 or 3 times. I probably could have used that when I was a police officer for sobriety checks. Sled Hill, up until this point, well, actually at the time of this writing, yesterday it was 54 and sunny. So as of right now, Sled Hills should be ready and are waiting for the snow, and the snow is here. The opening requires the following: frozen ground with 2 or more inches of snow, which I think we have. I'm not sure if we have the frozen ground yet, and no visible grass. Sledding season is weather dependent and goes through February 28th. As for ice skating, that's a little bit more dismal, unfortunately. In order to operate, we need a minimum of 72 hours of constant temperatures of 15 degrees or below. The skating season goes through February 15th. Some very exciting news about the game of golf here with the Naperville Park District. Several changes are coming this year in 2012. New rates, and if you go to www.springbrookgolfcourse.org or www.naperbrookgolfcourse.org, you will find that these new rates are posted. The one thing that's interesting and exciting is residents will never pay more than non-residents, and you can even save more with the new Brooks Advantage Card. And a little bit about the Brooks Advantage Card: it will be $30 for adults, $20 for seniors, which will provide green fee discounts, range token discounts, advantage pricing on golf shop merchandise, and card holder only events and promotions. Some enhancements to the 2012 season reserve tee time program, and the lottery will be held on February 26th. New benefits include a lower participation fee, complimentary range balls, 4 Brooks Advantage cards, and 2 celebration lunches. The Brooks Links membership: if you purchase your 2012 membership before February 1st, you'll receive a golf shop gift card and a complimentary 9-hole playing lesson. And finally, and this just, I've read this about 3 times, and it's just odd to read this. It's not odd because this is a great accomplishment by Chad. The golfer Chad Effner scored the first hole-in-one of 2012 on Friday, January 6th. Yes, folks, you watching out there, I didn't say June. Friday, January 6th on Springbrook's 4th hole using a 7-iron. His name will be added to the hole-in-one plaque at Springbrook Golf Course, honoring all who have achieved this feat. I don't know, Ed, is this the earliest, obviously, ever in the season that anybody's ever done that? Okay, it's incredible. So we would hope for more hole-in-ones and more 50-degree weather coming up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the approval of the treasurer's report.
President Riley, I move to approve the November 2011 Treasurers' Report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Jackie, call the roll, please.
Vice President Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Todd?
Yes.
Commissioner Egan?
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Ori, absent. President Riley?
Yes. Next, we have the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
President Riley, I move to accept the consent agenda items as listed.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Jackie, call the roll, please.
Vice President Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Egan?
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Ori, absent. Commissioner Todd?
Yes.
President Riley?
Yes.
President Riley, I move to approve the consent agenda as accepted.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion's carried. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. Next item is future meetings. January 19th, 2012, 6 p.m. at the Administration Building, be a special meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners. It'll be kind of a long evening that night. February 9th, 2012, we'll have our next regular meeting. That will be at 7 p.m. here. Then on February 23rd, 2012, we will have our special meeting or workshop, 6 p.m. at the Naperville Administration Building, sorry. Next is executive session.
President Riley, I move to adjourn to executive session to discuss land acquisition under Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I have to roll call that one.
Yeah.
Roll call? Okay.
Vice President Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Egan?
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Ori, absent. Commissioner Todd?
Yes.
President Riley?
Yes.